Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at episode 8 of Taboo Tattoo. Now, like I said, I've been having a lot of issues with the show. I mean, I went on to a little mini rant last week, and it's not that I hate this show. I want to make that clear to people because I think people see a rant and right away think, "Oh, that must mean he hates the show or dislikes it to an extreme amount." I don't dislike Taboo Tattoo. And the thing is that I have issues with it, yes, but it's still not a bad show by any means. And luckily, this episode really showed me that hey, maybe it's going in different directions. Maybe it's actually taking some of the things I was having issues with it and trying now to show hey, this is its true colors. Because this episode did a lot of things right, and also showed me hey, this show knows what it wants to do now. It really does. It has identity finally, something that I've been asking for and clamoring for since the very beginning. Now let's talk about what happened. And of course, the very beginning of it, we see BB and we see Izzy together, and they really show how close these two were. They were very close to one another, and clearly, Izzy loved BB at one time. We saw that last episode. We saw that episode before, of course, too. But this shows right here that they really were maybe an item more than just how the show perceives them to be. Now, the Schrodinger cat is still going around and wreaking havoc on the various team members, and Segi is still having no luck here because he's still dealing with the princess and her ability to kind of mute his powers completely. On top of that, we have Blood dealing with the crazy samurai girl from before. All of them are in pitched combat with different enemies, and they're all doing really bad. Our heroes are failing horribly. That's the one thing about this. Now, at one point, Izzy finally is able to break free from her issues because Blood is saying, "Hey, listen, go save the kid. I'll take care of the samurai girl." And so Izzy goes off, but at one point they all end up being in the same place when Blood is able to push the samurai girl back, despite him being very, very drained and very tired. And we see finally something very interesting about the tattoos. And we heard a few episodes back how the tattoos eventually take over the soul of the person. They have various effects, but more so they start kind of stripping them of their life and their kind of humanity almost in many ways. In this case, we see how BB's source, his energy source, is actually going around him and kind of constricting him. And he's telling him, "Hey, listen, just give me enough time to keep fighting. I need 5 more minutes. Give me 5 more minutes to fight." And we see the source actually back off completely from him, giving him the chance to go back. He yells to Segi that he needs Segi's help because right now he's in dire straits. He can't do him alone. So Segi's able to somehow break free of this using his Voidmaker powers, and giving that distracts the samurai girl just long enough for BB to come in and kill her on the spot with his void powers. Now, we see though that everyone's really drained. Everyone's tired. The princess seems to still be in the lead right here because first off, we have what's her face? We have BB dying now from his source and being devoured by Segi's source because he wants Segi's source to devour him. So we have BB now finally out of the picture, unfortunately. And I'm curious what they mean by like devour. Does that mean take his power? Does that mean absorb his energy? I'm very curious. I'm presuming next episode we'll tell about that. We also see Segi's childhood friend, the girl, running to Segi, and you can see what's behind her. And right then and there, it's gonna. I don't even need to play it out. If you've seen the episode, you know what happened. But yeah, his childhood friend, the girl that we see like them finally getting close and being together, maybe almost as a potential couple. She's removed from existence. She's eaten by the Schrodinger cat. It's messed up. I was blown away. I was like in awe for the scene. I didn't think this would happen. But the princess is laughing about this, almost going, listen, everyone loves revenge stories. I hope that you'll come back at me. We'll cross paths again because you'll want your revenge. And Segi we have Segi here just looking deadpan. We have, of course, Izzy deadpan. They both lost something horrible. Now we skip from what it looks like a few days, maybe I don't know exact time period, but we have Segi by himself, and the wise man from before, the one that gave him his tattoo, approaches him. At the same time, Izzy, who is looking for Segi apparently, also approaches the wise man with a gun to his head and wants to know what's going on, wants to know the questions and why he's even involved in all this. And we learned some very interesting things. We learned that BB knew he was going to die. You know, he knew his source was going to take over and assimilate him over after so long. He was already on borrowed time, essentially. So what he had planned is he had Segi planning to be his, essentially his, I want to say his contingency plan in many ways, where he knew Segi would be the one to take over his role and be the ultimate hero. And we heard Blood say this to him actually near the end of the episode as he's dying, that it's time for you to become the ultimate hero and become the one that you're meant to be. And at the very end, after the credits, with various talks and various stuff like that, we see that apparently the machine that BB was in, I thought that was gonna be something to assimilate him, his energy or get other powers or whatever. It was actually something to take himself into and put his memories into the machine to transfer to someone, and he wants the memories transferred to Segi, so Segi can understand fully what BB's dream was and see what was in his mind. So I'm presuming next week's episode probably will like a flashback episode, most likely. But I'll say this right now: this was a very, very good episode. I think this is the best episode of Taboo Tattoo I've seen. We had plenty of action. We had a lot of death, which I'm not saying was a good thing, but we had plenty of death to make you find it kind of get emotionally attached to some of these characters that I was kind of losing emotional attachment to. Overall, just a very, very solid episode. Anyways, guys and girls, I'm sorry again for the late upload. I've had a busy day. Stuff happens, I'll talk about it more in my live stream, so hopefully you guys are there. I will talk to you later. As always, the whole nine. Bye-bye, everyone.